Welcome and welcome back to the Freshwater Fibers Knitting and Sewing Podcast. My name is Charlotte and I'm coming to you from the extremely warm shores of Lake Charlevoix in northern Michigan. I am downstairs in my craft room today because it is Friday, June 29th, and it is a balmy, with the heat index, is a balmy 99 degrees outside Fahrenheit. Right now, the last time I checked, that was 5 minutes ago, so it could be 100 degrees by now. I don't know. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's probably still going to get a little warmer. As you can see, I've been out in the sun gardening, so I'll show you a little bit of that, or maybe I'll put it in the intro, so maybe you've already seen it. But that's my garden at the house. And then I also have a pumpkin patch up at the farm. I like to grow all kinds of different heirloom French pumpkins and vegetables and melons. If it's, the more strange and different it is, the more I like to grow it. Anyway, so today I have a couple of finished projects, knitting projects. I don't have any sewing today. And so if you're here for the wool, I've got all wool today. And I also have some new colorways to show you from Roberta Rae Fibers. And possibly some, oh yeah, and I've got a project I'm working on. So let's get to it. Let's do the finished objects. Oh, and I forgot to look up the pattern. I'll have to put it in my show notes down below. But I finished the first installment of the Helen Stewart's Classic Handmade Sock Society socks. Oh, they're all washed out. There we go, kind of. So here we are. And this is, I've shown you this a number of times. This is the Primrose Yarn Company yarn in the Acid colorway. I don't know where I can move it so it doesn't get all white on you, but it's a really pretty acidy green, algae green. There's some bright fluorescent in there, some little hits of bubblegum pink, you might call it. So I made the small size, and I made it long enough here for my feet. The only problem is with the small size, then the toe was a little too small, so I definitely, in the next pair of socks of the Sock Society that I'll make, I will still make the small size, but I will remember to maybe add ½ inch to the toe. But anyway, so a pair of socks. They're wonderful, they're pretty. The pattern is very pretty, very easy to go with. I don't know if the individual pattern is on Ravelry or not, but there you can see the lace better. Now, of course, in the pattern, she uses a solid, and so the lace is a little more difficult to see with the variegated, the speckled yarn, but there you go. So I like those a lot. So I had those going. I know this has been in progress, but I didn't look back at my previous podcast to see if this was finished. But this, my absolute favorite, and it's 99 degrees out. It might be 75 in the house. We do not have air conditioning, so this will not be on very long. The Carbeth. The Carbeth cardigan. And I'm still looking for buttons, so I don't have buttons on it yet. But this is the wool I got in Edinburgh at the Yarn Festival. Daughter of a Shepherd. Broom. It's a DK weight, held double. Oh, I can't tell you. I added nearly 4 inches to the sleeve, so it's plenty long. And now this is meant in the pattern to be a, let's see if you can see the V. This is meant to be a cropped sweater. However, I did not want it cropped, so I also added 4 inches to the body length, and it actually comes right to my waist. I mean, if I did not a sweater, which is a cropped sweater, but that would be too cropped for me. So what I did is I took a commercial factory-made cardigan that I have from the store that I like the proportions of, and it's not long. It hits me right at the top of my jeans, and so I measured that from the underarms down, and that is the length I went with on this sweater, and it's perfect. I will definitely make this again. She also has the Carbeth sweater. Perhaps I'll make one of those. I don't know. This wool is warm. Let me see. I've shown it to you before. Daughter of a Shepherd, Broom, DK, undyed, from Scotland. So, yeah, it's coming off now. It's hot. Absolutely love it. I've already worn it once, believe it or not. We went to a graduation open house, and it was cold enough that I wore this sweater over a couple of long sleeve shirts, and the wind was blowing off the lake, and actually it was cold. This was not warm enough. So we had to go home before we went to the next open house, and I had to put another jacket on top of this. And now it's 99. Anyway, so let's see. This is, and I've shown you this before, the Carbeth cardigan, Kate Davies. It's fabulous. I love it. Now, my mom's trying to make this, and I didn't swatch. I just started making it, and my mom's been having problems, and she is swatching, and she's using bulky. So I don't know if that is the difference in why she's having problems. I held DK double, so this thing flies, and she's having problems getting gauge and is kind of getting frustrated. So I don't know. If you're thinking about making this, maybe do the DK held double and not bulky. But I didn't have any problems, and like I said, I just started making it. I did the, let's see, which size did I do? I did the size 2, the second, which is a bust circumference of 41. And it's perfect. Perfect. So I highly recommend that. So this is a treasure. I've already talked about Edinburgh, and if you care to, you can watch the video from our trip to Edinburgh, my friend Geraldine and I. But the whole time I made this sweater, it just I had a smile on my face remembering our trip, and very, very special. So those are my 2 finished objects. I have a third, and it's okay if I show this. I did a test knit. Oh, yeah, it's called the Stacked. You know what? I'll wait on this because I can't even remember the name of it, but it's a hat. He'll be putting the pattern in his Ravelry store soon, so the next podcast I will show you the hat that I did a test knit. Plus, I've had the tag for the yarn, a Malabrigo yarn that I used for it, and I've moved the tag around 3 times, and of course now can't find it. So, works in progress. So actually I was almost done with those socks, and I just couldn't stand it. I had to cast on some color work. So this is yarn that I bought last year at Spun Ann Arbor. It is Mrs. Crosby Loves to Play carpet bag. 80% superwash merino wool, 20% silk. 240 yards, so I think it's probably a DK worsted, somewhere around there. It is a single ply. And I'm pretty sure I've shown these colors before, but we'll show them again. I've got the body of the sweater is in this tonal purple. Oh, my Malabrigo yarn tag. Found it. I'll put that with my hat. Okay. Okay, so this is the main body color. Okay, and the color work was done in this silver and that ochre color. So fabulous. And this is and you've seen this pattern around, Winter Sole. You've seen that around. It's been on Instagram. So the body is purple. The black on here is the yellow, and the light gray is the light gray. And this is by Jennifer Steingass. She is Knit Love Wool. And I am moving right along. So here we are. This is what I have. I have done the body shaping, the decrease, and I'm about to start the hip shaping. In the pattern, it hangs down, not all the way down your hip, but a little bit longer. So I don't know, we'll see how long I make it. But I love it. And I just had to do some color work. So there we are. So then I did the yoke, and then I went back and finished my Handmade Society socks. So it's fabulous. It's heavy. This wool is heavy, but it drapes beautifully. And while I'm making it, I'm imagining wearing it over like a silk camisole or something, and just, you know, all swishy and silky. So yeah, the colors are turning out fabulously. I tried the yoke on, and it fits really well. And there we go. I think I usually get an inch or two done at a time between letting the dogs out or whatever has to be done. You know how that goes. So that is my work in progress. I will have I've never made a sweater, and so now this will be my second sweater this year already, and I have it in my Mid Mitten Design large sweater bag, which I've shown this before, but she's got a great swivel handle here. I love the handle there. That works fabulously. So I still have my 2 blankets going that I've talked about before, so I don't really count those works in progress because they're just busy work. And you know, my sports blanket, the one that's been through 4 years now of baseball, softball, and now travel volleyball. I started these and then I pulled them out because I made a lot of mistakes. The second installment of the Handmade Sock Society by Helen Stewart, the Magnolia Sock. So this was sock number 2 that I'm going to make. So it's another kind of lacy. Again, I'm using a tonal sock. Oh, my kids are home, so it's going to be crazy and there's going to be a lot of barking. And then they'll quiet down. So we'll pause for the barking. Wasn't that bad. Hello.
Hello.
I'm podcasting.
Oh. Yeah, I was wondering if you were talking to me or not.
All right, no barking. Excellent. So I'm going to use this yarn. You know what? The sun's shining right here. That's why there's a problem. Okay. Here we go. This is a Roberta Rae, one of a kind. When we were practicing dyeing for our collaboration with Mid-Mitten Designs on the Spring Awakening project, this was one of the rejects for the project, but I loved it so much that I'm making some socks out of it. And again, this is our Roberta Rae base, which the wool all came from a farm in Bel Air, Michigan, and the processed and spun in East Jordan, Michigan, and then hand dyed by us. So those will be underway shortly. And again, I don't know, I had the cuff and maybe 2 inches done on the pattern, and it wasn't looking good. So we shall redo that one. Okay. So let's see. I have a new book. And again, I haven't shown all of my books yet from Edinburgh, but I thought that I would show those as I use them. So then I won't be re-showing you things down the road when I make something out of those. Let's see. So my new book, as you know, if you've watched my other podcasts, I love Arne and Carlos. So they have a new book. Arne and Carlos, Favorite Designs, Greatest Hits, and New Inspirations. It's a good book. There are some new things in here from the other book that I have, Knit and Crochet in the Garden, I think, is the other one that I have. I've shown that before, maybe early on. So there are a lot of things from that book in here. However, there are new things. A lot of dolls, which I've never made, and I don't have a little person to make them for. And of course, they're making them for whoever. So it doesn't have to be a little person, but, and they're birds. So I know they have a bird book out, but they do have a number of birds in here, a number of Easter eggs, teddy bears. There are some sweaters. Tea cozy is really cute. But the layout is a little strange to me. I mean, overall, I love the book. I'm not complaining at all. It's not a complaint. It's just a strange layout where you'll be going along and there will be a bunch of dolls and the doll clothes. And so, these are nice, these are nice. And then you go on and maybe it's there are a number of slippers, so there will be a slipper. So then you go past that, and here's an Easter bunny, okay. And then you go down some pages, there's a pillow, and there's another slipper. So, things are not all in one section. So all the dolls aren't in one place, all the slippers aren't in one place. It just kind of, they're sprinkled out throughout the book. So, which seemed a little odd to me. Usually I'm used to all the slippers are in one chapter, all the birds are in one, all the dolls and their accessories. But anyway, that's nothing wrong with it. I just found it strange. But I love Arne and Carlos, and they have a number of awesome videos online. If you want to learn a technique or learn their technique about something, I learned to knit and purl continental, or Arne calls it the Norwegian way, through them. And definitely is faster, especially ribbing, knit, purl, or, knit two, rib two, knit two, purl two. The Norwegian way is so much faster than throwing. So that's a good book. And I got some stitch dictionaries. Working on some fat wool projects for this fall, which I'm not gonna talk about yet. I do have a new website in the works for my fat wool company, and a new venture, exciting venture, which will be going live in August with another local company. So I'll be able to share that as soon as it's live, so you can go right to it and see it. Let me know what you think. And so a lot of things in the works, a lot of things going on in the background for later this summer and early this fall. So very, very exciting. So let's show off some Roberta Rae new colors. So this is a nice one. This is our Roberta Rae Michigan line, and it is Merino Corriedale, Wensleydale, and nylon. It's a sock, 350 yards. Excuse me. This one is called Morticia. And again, so there's a lot of the creamy white natural with some charcoal-y type splashes with the magenta splashes in there. So that one's pretty cool. And again, this blend of yarn is so nice. So we've got 3 of those. Here's a color that we have in our heavy worsted. And this is also now in a Roberta Rae sock. It's called Tornado. Does that not look like the sky? At least, you know, I live in the Midwest, northern Michigan. We don't get too many tornadoes, but we've seen some green skies. So anybody who's seen an icky, angry, gray, green sky, this is it. So that one's fun. And this one we have in a DK. This is Witchy Couture. If you saw my Instagram post, I had been dyeing lots of different things, but I definitely done this one. My hands were purple and green. Witchy Couture. I love that one. That great bright purple. That a little bit of black speckle in there. And I have one worsted weight to show you. Again, Roberta Rae worsted. This color is Dark Seas, so it's a solid. Kind of a nice, I don't even wouldn't call it like a denim-y blue. Okay, so that's it for the Roberta Rae Michigan. Now we have our cashmere sock. Is that getting hit by the sun? I love this one. I love this one. So this one reminded me of here. It's not in the sun anymore. This one reminded me of, if you're of a certain age or older, you will remember, is it analog? Regular analog antenna TV, and you only had 3 stations, at least we did, out in the country where we lived. And when a station didn't have any programming on, they usually had or there was a technical difficulty. Remember the technical difficulty screen? And there would be the screen full of color bars. Color bar. And this is our fingering weight superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon. 382 yards. But yeah, it pretty much has all those colors off the color bar from your TV. So that one's great. Okay. This one is so pretty. Greek Isles. This is also cashmere. And it has some great, gosh, there we go. This is silly. Oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, you can see the speckles. There we go. Great. Speckles, the colors, the blue. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that one's pretty. They're all pretty. Oh, this one came undone. Oh, this is a good one too. This one is called Lemon Fizz. It is a limey, chartreusey, yellow, and green. It's great. There we go. Oh, this is silly. I need to move away from the window so you can actually see this. All right. I might have to cut some of you out, but let's see. Can you see it better now? No, now we're completely in the sun. Okay, color bar, technical difficulty. Oh, jeez. Okay, here we go. I have to remember to look over there. I have to remember to look at you. Okay, so Lemon Fizz cashmere. So pretty. And that has tiny, 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 tiny little speckles in it. Now this one is one of my absolute favorites. This one is also cashmere, debutante. Pretty, pretty pink. All those fabulous speckles. Tiny, tiny speckles. Again, this one's cashmere also. Debutante. Oh, but I think this one might be my even more favorite. Quiet Riot Cashmere. So it's a tonal gray with all of these. We're making progress on our speckles. We're getting it. Tiny, tiny, tiny little speckles. Oh my gosh. I just can't wait to use this one. Love this one. Quiet Riot. And I believe I have one more cashmere. Yep. Steel Blue. Oh, disregard the little spare thread hanging out there. So again, just like a nice tonal medium gray. And that pretty, pretty blue, like an ocean blue streaking through there. Again, okay, I think that's it for cashmere. So now we have superwash fingering, merino wool, nylon, 462 yards of fabulous beach coral. A really pretty tonal sherbet orange almost. Reminds me almost of a creamsicle. Again, am I dating myself? Do I even make creamsicles anymore? Gorgeous. Okay. This one, raspberry. Has some purple speckles. Nice tonal. There's some white in there. That white's showing up really bright because of the sun. I'm facing a window. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I mean, what if you paired Quiet Riot and Raspberry? Oh my gosh. Oh. Quiet Riot and Debutante. Honestly. I mean, you're supposed to love your own work, right? We love our yarn. This one is pretty. Well, I certainly wouldn't show you if it wasn't pretty, right? Honeydew. There's a little bit, hardly a touch of pale gray. Really spring shade of like a grass green, and some little areas of speckles. Well, it doesn't really matter. In orange and black. Look at that. Honeydew. Okay. Now this one is so delicate. Cotton Candy. So there's that, it's kind of a pale lilac with some hits of like ballerina pink. Very pretty. Again, if you were doing a fade, Cotton Candy and Debutante. If you really wanted to rock your pink, you could do Cotton Candy, Raspberry, and Debutante. I don't know if I went over here. Is it any better out of the sun? Just want to cast it all on, don't we? And here's one that we had done before but sold out of. Violets in the Straw, one of my personal favorites. A nice gold straw tone with deep indigo speckles. This is fingering. One of my favorites. So yeah, this was sold out, and we have 3 in the store right now. Fingering weight. Love that one. Let's see. Oh, and I guess there's one more. It's the same Quiet Riot color, but a different base. This is the Fingering Superwash Merino Nylon. So we had 3 cashmere available, and this one, we have 1 left of the Superwash Nylon. Oh, gosh, just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Look at the speckles. So, that's what we have new for Roberta Rae. And let's see, so yeah, I have things coming up for Fat Wool, but nothing to show for you today. So this is kind of really a short podcast. Yeah, so a lot of gardening. We had graduation. Our eldest graduated earlier this month, valedictorian of his class. Of course, very proud of all of his accomplishments. He is off to Michigan State for engineering, Michigan State University for engineering this fall. And so, yeah, life keeps moving on. And then our girls are junior and freshman in high school. So busy, lots of things going on, volleyball and summer camps. I do have, I do have a fiber show coming up for Fat Wool. I have a booth at the Bay Harbor Art Fair in Bay Harbor, Michigan. That is the end of July, the 27th and 28th, Friday, Saturday in Bay Harbor, Michigan. I will be there with Fat Wool. Roberta Rae, we don't have a show until September and October for Roberta Rae, but we do have our Etsy store. So if there was something, if you need to see some more pictures or anything I showed you today is available in the store. So take a look if you're interested. That is Roberta Rae Fibers on Etsy. And my Fat Wool store is down for just a short amount of time right now while I'm getting the new website put together. And then that will be a whole new website, and that'll be back up and running. And I think that's about it. So very short today, 36 minutes. Woo! But it had been a while, so I wanted to podcast and give it another go. And I think that's it. If I come up with anything else, I'll add another video on, but I'm sure this was it. So stay cool. We're supposed to be well over 100 tomorrow, and then which is very unusual for northern Michigan. We do not have air conditioning. We're not supposed to need it. We live in northern Michigan on a lake. So anyway, what do? We'll get through it. And so that's it. It feels like 5 weeks ago we had 2 feet of snow on the ground, so there you are. All right, I'm babbling. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.